You must hide it. 'Tis but wearing a wig." "A wig!" repeated the affrighted Mr. Lovel. "I wear a wig! No, not if you would give me £1,000 an hour." "I declare," said Lady Louisa, "I never heard such a shocking proposal in my life." Lord Orville then, seeing no prospect that the altercation would cease, proposed to the Captain to walk. He assented, and having given Mr. Lovel a nod of exultation, accompanied his Lordship down stairs. "'Pon honour," said Mr. Lovel, the moment the door was shut, "that fellow is the greatest brute in nature. He ought not to be admitted into a civilized society." "Lovel," said Mr. Coverley, affecting to whisper, "you must certainly pink him. You must not put up with such an affront." "Sir," said Mr. Lovel, "with any common person I should not deliberate an instant; but really, with a fellow who has done nothing but fight all his life, 'pon honour, Sir, I can't think of it." "Lovel," said Lord Merton, in the same voice, "you must call him to account." "Every man," said he, pettishly, "is the best judge of his own affairs, and I don't ask the honour of any person's advice." "Egad, Lovel," said Mr. Coverley, "you're in for it. You can't possibly be off." "Sir," cried he, very impatiently, "upon any proper occasion I should be as ready to show my courage as anybody; but as to fighting for such a trifle as this, I protest I should blush to think of it." "Trifle!" cried Mrs. Selwyn, "good Heaven! and have you made this astonishing riot about a trifle?" "Ma'am," answered the poor wretch, in great confusion, "I did not know at first but that my cheek might have been bit; but as 'tis no worse, why it does not a great deal signify. Mrs. Beaumont, I have the honour to wish you a good evening. I'm sure my carriage must be waiting." And then, very abruptly, he left the room. What a commotion has this mischief loving Captain raised! Were I to remain here long, even the society of my dear Maria could scarce compensate for the disturbances which he excites. When he returned, and heard of the quiet exit of Mr. Lovel, his triumph was intolerable. I think," he cried, "I have peppered him well. I'll warrant he won't give an hour to morrow morning to settling what he shall put on. Why, his coat," turning to me, "would be a most excellent match for old Madame Furbelow's best Lyons silk. 'Fore George, I desire no better sport than to have that there old cat here go to her snacks." All the company, the Lord Orville, Miss Mirvan, and myself excepted, played at cards; and we, oh, how much better did we pass our time! While we were engaged in a most delightful conversation, a servant brought me a letter, which he told me had by some accident been mislaid. Judge of my feelings when I saw, my dearest Sir, your revered handwriting. My emotion soon betrayed to Lord Orville, whom the letter was from, the importance of the contents he well knew; and assuring me I should not be seen by the card players, he besought me to open it without delay. Open it indeed I did, but read it I could not. The willing, yet awful consent you have granted, the tenderness of your expressions, the certainty that no obstacle remained to my eternal union with the loved owner of my heart, gave me sensations too various, and though joyful, too little placid for observation. Finding myself unable to proceed, and blinded by the tears of gratitude and delight which started into my eyes, I gave over the attempt of reading till I retired to my own room; and having no voice to answer the enquiries of Lord Orville, I put the letter into his hands, and left it to speak both for me and itself. Lord Orville was himself affected by your kindness. He kissed the letter as he returned it, and pressing my hand affectionately to his heart, "You are now," said he, in a low voice, "all my own. Oh, my Evelina, how will my soul find room for its happiness? It seems already bursting." I could make no reply. Indeed, I hardly spoke another word the rest of the evening, so little talkative is the fulness of contentment. Oh, my dearest Sir, the thankfulness of my heart I must pour forth at our meeting, when, at your feet, my happiness receives its confirmation from your blessing, and when my noble-minded, my beloved Lord Orville presents to you the highly honoured and thrice happy Evelina. A few lines I will endeavour to write on Thursday, which shall be sent off express, to give you, should nothing intervene, yet more certain assurance of our meeting. Now then, therefore, for the first, and probably the last time I shall ever own the name, permit me to sign myself, most dear Sir, your gratefully affectionate Evelina Belmont. Lady Louisa, at her own particular desire, will be present at the ceremony, as well as Miss Mirvan and Mrs. Selwyn. Mr. Macartney will, the same morning, be united to my foster sister, and my father himself will give us both away. End of Letter 82.